Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Wednesday, November 22nd. Following some warmer weather today, we do have our next winter storm arriving tonight through Thanksgiving Day. I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today. We're seeing warmer conditions today, afternoon highs in the 30s to upper 40s, but our next system will be arriving for later part of today into tonight. We're looking at widespread snow building in overnight from the northwest out of the central mountains, overspreading southeast. Precipitation will remain all snow. We will have the limited rain potential during those afternoon hours, where afternoon highs get above freezing, but predominantly should stay all snow for you. Winds will increase later in the day Thursday through Friday, which will lead to some areas of blowing snow, especially where some of that snow is able to remain a little bit lighter in consistency. Cold and quiet weekend ahead. So following this system, we're going to rest a little bit of a break heading in behind that system. So heading into the weekend, scattered snow showers Friday depart southeast as dry conditions return. Our ridge of high pressure building in from the Pacific will lead to some areas of freezing fog and low stratus. But beyond that, trending drier into the weekend. Quick look at satellite for you this morning. Again, not seeing a whole lot out there this morning, just some passing upper level clouds, but we are seeing some patchy dense fog out there, particularly here at the Pocatello airport this morning. Our visibility is down to about a quarter mile. And here's our current webcam image from the top of our building here. So you're seeing very limited visibility along the portions of the I-86 interstate as you head west of Pocatello. Certainly something to keep in mind across the Snake Plain. We are seeing some patchy dense fog this morning. And a look at the bigger picture for you. So again, our first system, it's going to be rolling in for the next couple of days. It's going to be currently working out of western Canada. As it does, we are seeing some snow and rain working through the Pacific Northwest and northern Idaho this morning. That'll continue to work south and east over the coming days, bringing some widespread snow to our area. Weather is got look for your next 5 days. Just today, we'll focus on some patchy dense fog in the morning with some afternoon and evening snow working into portions up towards the central and northeast part of the state. For Thursday, more widespread snow and gusty winds will develop, leading to some areas of blowing and drifting snow and hazardous travel conditions, especially as you head into the mountains and along some of the more heavily populated interstate corridors. For Friday, we're seeing those snow and gusty winds continue, trending down from what we saw on Thursday, but still keeping the snow going, especially as you head further south and east, with dry conditions returning for your weekend. Do you have a winter weather advisory in effect for the entirety of our forecast area, covering all of southeast Idaho, with a winter storm watch in effect for portions of western Wyoming? Temperatures today will be starting off in the teens and 20s across the board. Warmest areas in the low 30s, but afternoon highs fairly pleasant from what we've been seeing earlier this week. Afternoon highs pushing into those 40s to low 50s. And I'll break down the timing for you again. This is one look at the model. This is the NAM model. Again, we're looking at precipitation type here. We will be raining predominantly snow, so keep that in mind as I show you this loop here. But again, keeping an eye on that timing for you. Again, this afternoon and evening, we'll see a first wave of snow begin to push through the central mountains up towards Island Park just after sunset for tonight. By 9, 10, 11 o'clock tonight, starting to work onto the Snake Plain. Maybe a mix of rain in there at times with those warmer temperatures. But again, mostly snow. And if it starts off as rain, should transition to snow pretty quick. So by the early morning hours on Thanksgiving, we are going to see some widespread snow begin to develop, and as that band begins to stall and we get a closed low developing overhead, going to see some wraparound bands of precipitation that'll expand the coverage of the aerial coverage of that snowfall. So by 9 a.m. Thursday, seeing widespread snow across much of southeast Idaho. As that continues throughout the day, we're seeing widespread snow continuing across the Snake Plain with an emphasis on the Magic Valley. Going to have some wraparound bands of snow working into that corridor. So certainly the higher totals across the Snake Plain are actually expected further south and west, down towards Shoshone, Twin Falls, and Burley, with lighter accumulations as you head further northeast. But heading into the afternoon hours on Thanksgiving, we're keeping with that widespread snow chances. Again, the potential for some mixing with rain, but we'll keep predominant snow in the forecast at this time. Heading into the evening hours, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, see that snow begin to shift south, and that'll continue that trend heading into Friday as we get some colder air beginning to work up and over the divide, ushering in that colder air mass that'll be keeping us dry heading into the weekend. But heading into early Friday morning, again, most of that snow is going to be pushing south and east as predominantly dry conditions begin to fill in further north. Snowfall amounts on your Wednesday. So for today, just looking at some light snow as you head further north, just a couple of inches up into the high country around Lemhi County. Temperatures on your Thursday, we'll get some cloud cover in here, warmer overnight lows in the 20s and 30s. Afternoon highs, 30s and low 40s. Again, the potential is going to be there for those mixing as far as rain potential goes, particularly early on in the system. But overall, during those afternoon hours, the potential will still be there. But again, predominantly snow with this event. Snowfall amounts on your Thursday. Again, we're looking at a widespread about 1 to 4 inches in the valleys. Certainly as you get up towards the higher elevations, south and east of the Snake Plain, and up towards the central mountains as well. Looking at about 6 to 8 inches of snow falling that day, a little bit higher as you head out into the Tetons, where around 8 to 12 inches of snow is expected. And I'll break down the timing for you on those wind gusts. Again, wind gusts Thursday morning, just going to be a little bit breezy as you head up towards Clark County, Du Bois, Spencer, up and over Menida Pass. But by the time Thursday, this is 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., we'll see those winds gradually increase throughout the day. These will be winds out of the north-northeast across the Snake Plain, with gusts pushing on those Thursday afternoon time frame. Gusts about 20 to 40 miles an hour. So it's particularly up towards Menida Pass, we're getting some of those stronger winds. Will be leading to some areas of blowing snow, particularly up towards the higher elevations. And by Thursday night, we're looking into the overnight hours. Those strong winds will continue to work down valley across the Snake Plain. Gusts about 30 to 45 miles an hour, locally stronger with some of that downslope enhancement. But again, lighter winds as you head outside the Snake Plain. We'll kind of get that local channeling effect down the valley. But overall, keeping with that snow trend during the overnight hours as well. Keeping an eye on blowing snow for Thursday night. Temperatures on your Friday, single digits, teens, and 20s in the morning, but afternoon highs noticeably cooler. We're getting that colder air mass settling in, with afternoon highs now back into the 20s and 30s. Snowfall amounts on your Friday, again, just about a trace to a couple inches as you head further south of the Snake Plain, up towards Pomerelle and the Bear River Range. Still could stand a chance of about 3 to 6 inches of more snow heading into Friday, but overall, trending progressively drier throughout the daytime hours. And wind gusts on Friday, again, keeping with that breezy wind trend down valley. Wind gusts on the order of about 25 to 40 miles an hour. And by Friday night, so we're looking after 5 o'clock here, still seeing some gusty winds working up and over the divide as you head up towards Clark County. But other than that, winds should be lightening up as you head into Friday night and your weekend. And here's a look at those total snowfall amounts. So again, widespread snowfall amounts for this event will be on the order of about 2 to 5 inches in the valleys. Locally higher amounts certainly possible, or we can get some of that enhancement with some of the bands of snow that are beginning working down, but especially as you head south and east of the Snake Plain and up into the mountains of central Idaho, looking at about 6 to 12 inches of snow with some locally higher totals, especially across those highest of elevations, with particular concerns as you get up towards Teton Pass, some of our mountain passes south of the Snake Plain as well. And again, here's those expected snowfall ranges. Same graphic, just a little bit different style here as I take you through some of the probabilities. But overall, again, just about accumulation-wise, 2 to 5 inches in the valleys, locally higher, especially as you get out towards Burley, Minidoka, Rockland, and around the Pocatello, Gate City area. But overall, as you head into the mountains, still looking on the order of about 8 to 12 inches, a little bit higher as you get into the Tetons. And a high-end snowfall event. So again, we're keeping an eye on the high-end potential there with some low organized, kind of slow-moving bands of snow. But with that, we could be looking at about 5 to 8 inches of snow across much of the Snake Plain. So keeping an eye on that. But as far as this is a high-end amount, just a 90th percentile, only a 10% chance of higher snowfall than these amounts shown here. And as far as looking at a low end, so this is the 10th percentile, 90% chance of higher snowfall on the order of about a trace to a couple inches, about 3 to 6 inches, locally higher as you head further south and east. Again, a 90% chance of higher snowfall. Temperatures on Saturday, we're going to get that colder air working in. So overall, we're going to be overnight lows in the single digits above and below zero, with warmest areas in the teens and 20s. Afternoon highs, 20s and 30s, just a couple degrees warmer for some areas. And by Sunday, we're going to have that increasing influence of high pressure, starting to see some warmer air begin to build in from the northwest. So places like Stanley will be as much as 10 degrees warmer than Pocatello on your Sunday afternoon. But overall, Sunday morning, still looking at those single digits above and below zero, especially pretty cold in our mountain basins with some clear skies, patchy freezing fog, and some areas of low stratus. But again, afternoon highs, 20s and 30s, potential for some 40s as you head up towards central Idaho. And that's about all I have for you this morning. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome day and stay safe out there.